For today's video, we got some more Fortnite, and in this one I'm going to be sharing with you all some basic tips that I came across while playing the new Horde Bash game mode. The first thing I wanted to go over were the modifiers, which you can see here, and I'm not going to go through each of these, but there were a couple that I wanted to point out. It seems like Life Leech and Ricochet are some of the harder modifiers, and you can tell which of these modifiers you're going to get by wave 3. Once you make it to the later zones, if you see something like Life Leech or Ricochet by the 3rd wave, then you may want to back out and start again. Another one I wanted to go over was the no repairs modifier. Obviously with this one you're not going to be able to repair buildings for one wave, but there are a couple of other ways you can repair your buildings. One of them is to use the banner gadget, which not only damages enemies within its radius, but it also repairs buildings in its radius as well. Another way you can repair is to use a constructor that has the power modulation perk. And what that perk does is it regenerates 5% of the max health for every 10 seconds. So if you're playing with a constructor that has this perk, then just place your base on the area where you want to repair buildings. The next tip I wanted to go over was how you can progress quickly through the Horde Bash game mode. And for those who don't know, in order to unlock the next area, all you need to do is complete the final challenge in the area you're currently in. So let's say for example you're in the power level 5 zone, and that zone has 3 challenges. All you need to do is complete the 3rd and final challenge to unlock the next zone. And as we all know, it takes about 40 to 50 minutes to complete the Horde Bash game mode, so if you can skip a couple of challenges along the way, it's going to save you a lot of time. Also, if you plan on farming skills or scavenger tickets, then I'd recommend that you do the first zone in each tier because it's the easiest. And speaking of those different zones, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a little picture to show you how many challenges are in each tier, as well as how many tickets you can get as a reward. The next thing I wanted to go over was the Horde Bash skill tree. And for those who don't know, the skills at the top of the skill tree are going to give you materials that you can use in your pre-build staging area. And I'd recommend unlocking these if you're still in the 1st or 2nd tier, but once you get to the 2nd or 3rd tier, you're probably going to want to start unlocking skills that are at the bottom of this skill tree, because the ones at the bottom are going to give you materials after every wave, and some of those materials are going to allow you to craft tier 2 and tier 3 weapons. So yeah, if you just started Horde Bash, I'd recommend that you unlock the skills that are at the top, and then once you get to tier 2 or tier 3, you're going to want to start unlocking skills that are at the bottom. And when it comes to those skills that are on the bottom, the ones that I would recommend getting are the ammunition skills, the trap material skills, as well as the weapon material skills. Again, because that's going to give you resources so you can craft better weapons and traps. Now, if you've played Horde Bash and you find yourself not having enough resources, or if your fort could use some more resources, then what I would recommend doing is using the supply drop gadget. Not only will you get materials to help you build your fort, but you'll also get materials to help craft traps and weapons. The next thing I wanted to go over were the rewards. Once you complete the 3rd challenge in the power level 15 zone, you're going to get an epic scavenger weapon schematic. And I'm not sure when you get the epic defender, but I do know that you have to choose either between an epic defender that uses a shotgun or an epic sniper defender. Once you complete the 4th challenge in the power level 40 zone, you're going to get a legendary scavenger rocket launcher transform. Once you complete the 5th challenge in the 52 zone, you're going to get a legendary scavenger weapon transform. And when you complete the 5th challenge in the 70 zone, you're going to get a legendary scavenger hero. Once you complete the Die Husk Die Stage 5 quest, you're going to get 200 scavenger tickets, and when you complete Stage 7 of that quest, you're going to get a legendary defender. And one thing I wanted to point out with the defender is that their kills will count towards your quest if they're using a scavenger weapon. The next tip I wanted to go over is in regards to the staging area where you pre-build your fort. For those who don't know, the flag is going to be located on the opposite side of where the enemies spawn. So as you can see here, the flag's located here, and the 2 walls that are facing the flag are going to be on the opposite side of where the enemies spawn. And if we look at the fort from the other side, this is where the enemies are going to be attacking. So what I would recommend doing is putting all of your traps on the opposite side of the flag, and you also want to try to defend that side of the fort as best you can by either using tier 3 stone or metal. Now it seems like most people prefer the pyramid build when it comes to Horde Bash, and in my opinion that's a good build, but I wouldn't recommend that you use the pyramid by itself. I would still recommend that you put walls around the pyramid using tier 3 stone or metal. In my opinion, you still want to put layers between your fort and the enemies. So what I would recommend doing is, if you prefer to make a pyramid, go ahead and make your pyramid, but just try to put some tier 3 stone or metal in between your pyramid and where the enemies spawn. And the last thing I want to go over are the different types of enemies you'll see in Horde Bash. If you ever have a wave where it's a bunch of lobbers, then you're going to want at least 2 to 3 people in your party to focus on killing the lobbers. Like, make the lobbers their #1 priority, while you have at least 1 or 2 people back and defending the fort. And for those who are attacking, all you have to do is listen for the lobber screams, because you'll be able to locate them quickly by listening to their screams. And if you're not playing with the headset, then just try to look at the purple projectiles that are in the air and looking at where they originated from, and then try to take out those lobbers. If you're one of the people that stay back at the base to defend it, then you can try building layers on top of your fort to help take some of the damage from those purple projectiles, and you can also shoot those purple projectiles as well. But yeah, if you ever see a lobber wave, you definitely want to make them your #1 priority. Flingers are probably the easiest monster to deal with. Most of the time it seems like you can just ignore them if you want to. But if you do want to take them out, then I'd recommend that you use a melee weapon, because it kills them a lot quicker than a ranged weapon. Same thing with the propane husk. Try to take them out before they get close to your fort so they don't do any damage. If you're playing as a constructor, you can use bull rush to push them back. Otherwise, I would recommend that you shoot them in the belly and try to kill them without making the propane tank explode. If you get a wave that has a bunch of takers, I'd recommend that you have somebody in your party use the slow field trap, because that's going to slow them down and help you all take them out. And when it comes to smashers, it kind of depends on what kind of wave it is. If it's a defend wave, then you're just going to want everybody in your party to focus fire on those smashers. If it's like a kill progression wave, then you're going to want to focus on the easier mob enemies, because that's going to help you fill up your kill progression meter a lot faster than if everybody focused on the smashers. And keep in mind that the smashers can't directly do damage to your base. All they can do is destroy the structures around it. So try to repair as quickly and as best as you can during those waves. Anyways, that sums up all of the tips that I have for today. If there's any that I didn't mention that you think are useful, be sure to let us know in the comments below. Also, if y'all found the video useful, don't forget to do what you do. I'm A1. Thanks for watching.